Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Brady Taylor here in the First Alert Weather Center, making sure I got everything set up on my end so that we're streaming good. Yep, see me there just staring at the computer. All right, so let's talk about kind of what's going on across Central Texas today. If you haven't been paying attention to weather, you probably got hit by some showers already. Two things we're watching. The main thing we're going to be watching through the afternoon and early evening is the flood potential across Central Texas. It's going down as one of the wettest Mays already in Central Texas, and we're only, 16 days in. Heavy rain from previous storms has saturated the ground. We're expecting anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain as we go through the rest of the afternoon. The real worry is some areas could see some isolated higher totals, upwards of 6 inches. That's where we start getting the more significant flooding. So all of Central Texas under this flood watch. It officially runs through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Part of that is you can see residual impacts from rain lasting longer than the actual rain takes place. So we're not expecting heavy rain all the way through the night. This is mainly an afternoon early event that we're watching, but still could see some flood issues overnight and into tomorrow morning, depending on how much river flooding that we see across our area. The other thing we have in place is a severe thunderstorm watch that covers most of Central Texas. It doesn't include our northern counties. We have a little boundary, a little front that's trying to push down to the south. As it does, and we get these what we call outflow boundaries pushing away from storms, it will start to limit the severe potential. So it's mainly these initial storms that we're dealing with. The secondary and third or fourth wave of rain that we may see shifts more from the hail potential more to the rain potential. But hail's really the big thing we're watching. There could be upwards of golf ball size hail mixed in with some of these storms across Central Texas as we continue to go through the afternoon. So let's take you to the KWTX radar network and show you what's going on. So again, we're watching kind of two waves. You can see a ton more lightning in this activity that's out in Coryell County compared to the activity in our eastern county. So we did have a severe thunderstorm warning earlier for parts of Limestone, McLennan County. Now it's more heavy rain. We have the storm out in Coryell County. Usually the lightning is a good kind of first indicator that the storm's got a little more strength and potential hail inside of it. So here's a look at a kind of closer view. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning. It officially still includes eastern Lampasas County, but that part of the storm's not severe. It's really this core that's sitting right near and south of Highway 84. So Pitcoke areas, north of Cove areas. It's going to start moving across the northern parts of Fort Cavazos as well. Let's take a look at the hail core on this and see what we're looking at. Fortunately, none of the hail cores have been all that crazy. There's a little bitty area there. You start getting from the blues and you can kind of see a little dot there. We get more of the yellowish color. So there's probably some $quarter to $half size hail mixed in with this. And that's, again, right there kind of near and north of the Pitcoke area. This little product's delayed sometimes because it takes the data from the radar, runs it through an algorithm, tries to figure out. So this hail core is probably a little farther east, so crossing FM 116. So that runs from the Gatesville area down towards Pitcoke and eventually down towards Copper's Cove. So between Pitcoke and the Gatesville airport there, again, is going to eventually work onto parts of the northern portions of Fort Cavazos. So good news is that's over an area where we don't have to worry about any big population out in that area. But that's one thing we're watching there. Now the other storms that we're watching are non-severe, but they are heavy rain producing. We have a flash flood warning that covers pretty much from I-35 eastward in McLennan County, northern kind of corner of Falls County, a large portion of Limestone and Freestone County, due to rains that have already produced an inch plus, and we could see a couple more inches. And it's not just this one wave of rain. I want to zoom this out a little bit and shift out west. So we've got this wave of rain that's going to be shifting east and likely will grow some. And then we've got to watch what's going to happen out here in San Saba, out towards Brady, because the back end of this is still out in parts of the big country. So the rain issue is going to be a concern as we continue to go through the afternoon hours across Central Texas. So we've got a lot of folks checking in from all over Central Texas, and a lot of folks are going to ask about their individual town. Be prepared for rain pretty much through at least probably 5, 6 o'clock this evening. It's not going to rain constantly, but this big wave out west that's moving in is going to lead to some very heavy rain. And again, it's that residual adding more and more to the equation that's going to make things a little bit more of an issue. So let's show you what our futurecast is showing as we go through the afternoon. So it picked up pretty good on where we are right now. It didn't get, kind of got the activity dying off maybe a little faster to the east than what, but it picks up that more trailing rain that's out towards San Saba, Brady, areas like that. So if we run this to 3 o'clock, you can see pretty widespread rain for most of Central Texas. The heavy rain threat, as we get to around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, will start shifting more and more east, eventually towards east of I-35. So as we go from 3, my computer didn't like me moving it like that. So we'll go 3 to 5 o'clock. Then we start seeing the heaviest rain. We'll start to get a little break out west. One thing we've got to watch after this initial wave moves through is, do we see some more spotty style showers developing? See our Futurecast kind of showing that holding on, and then there may be another wave out west, but if you watch how our Futurecast flares that up, but then falls apart with it as we move deeper into the night. So this is not going to be an overnight storm system, and really anything that develops after this initial wave that's pushing through now will mainly be just that moderate to heavy rain producer. The problem is rain can cause a lot of issues, really. We've already seen that. Let's take a look and show you where we are on, let's look at the 3-hour rainfall. So we've got these two, you can see we kind of follow the path. This one storm was sliding down to the southeast. This one's moving nearly due east. And when you start seeing, let's click on a few of these. Let's start where that flash flood warning is. And again, McLennan, Limestone, Freestone, Hill County areas like that. See what the radar is showing us on amounts. 3-hour rain, north side of Waco, nearly 2 inches. Falls, Limestone County line, over 2 inches. North of Mahia, nearly 2 inches. Kind of on both sides of Hubbard and in and around Hubbard, close to 2 inches as well. So this is just 3 hours, and this is just the start. And as you look up farther to the northwest, interesting to note, right on top of the Bosque River, or the Brazos River there, that works between, so this is just south of Lake Whitney, right at and on Lake Whitney, a lot more water coming into the Brazos River there. The Bosque River runs here through the kind of around the Clifton Meridian area, so not as much rain on the Bosque, but a lot of rain there on the Brazos River as well. So again, more rain is really going to be the big story as we continue throughout the afternoon. We're talking anywhere from 1 to 3 inches on top of what's already fallen in some areas. So if you're already starting to see some flooding concerns, it's going to be something that's going to be more of an issue. One thing to make sure, if you're watching from work, folks at school, it's going to continue straight through that evening, for some of us straight through that afternoon commute. So make sure you're paying close attention to county officials on area roadways. You're going to start getting where we see flooding on amounts of rain that you don't expect, meaning it's not going to rain as much as it has in previous flooding events because the ground just can't absorb. And some of our more lesser traveled roadways, maybe not as good of infrastructure, can start to see issues as wave after wave of heavy rain move through. So we have one severe thunderstorm warning right now. Again, that's for the western portions of Coryell, southern Coryell County as well. The Lampasas portion of that storm has been removed from the severe thunderstorm warning. Really, we'll be shifting more on the southern edge. That's where, if you watch this, you kind of see a little push south as this main wave is moving through. It's what we call an outflow boundary. What outflow boundaries do is push cooler air out from the thunderstorm. So that cooler air pretty much zaps any tornado concerns with it. But these storms can still be what we call elevated storms. So it's cool down at the ground, but there's fuel for the storms a little higher up in the atmosphere. That can still produce the hail threat. But in a large scale look, overall, it limits any significant severe weather for most of us. But again, heavy rain could be occurring with this stuff. So I want to show you another thing here, since if I can find the right button. These are the things that we don't use all the time. I was trying to find rainfall rate. But yeah, we can for free. Folks on Facebook, give us just a second. We're going to jump on KWTX on air as well, and then we'll be right back. So you may see us go to black real quick, but we'll be on talking to you and the folks on TV. Yep, I'm good.
This is a KWTX First Alert Severe Weather Update.
Meteorologist Brady Taylor here in the First Alert Weather Center. We have a lot of weather to keep an eye on. The big major story as we go throughout the day, a flood watch is in effect for all of Central Texas. That officially runs through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, but it's mainly this afternoon and evening. The reason it's extended further is we could see some residual creek and river flooding that could affect overnight conditions. 1 to 3 inches likely for most areas of Central Texas. Some of our eastern counties have already picked up 2+ inches of rain. We're worried about that potential of isolated 6-inch rainfall totals across parts of Central Texas. The other thing we're watching is a chance for some stronger storms. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect due to the potential of hail that could be up to golf ball size. It may be some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. That potential goes down pretty quickly as we see kind of wave after wave of rain. Fortunately, the tornado threat looks very unlikely with this activity, so that's good news. Here's the latest view of our KWTX radar network. We're watching 2 waves of rain. This first wave that pushed in from the northwest, bringing heavy rain across our eastern counties, and then some stronger storms that are showing a little signs of decreasing that severe potential Move through Mills, parts of Lampasas County, now moving into Coryell County. The western portions of Coryell County under a severe thunderstorm warning that runs for just a few more minutes. That'll likely be allowed to expire, but if this storm holds its strength, we could have a warning issued for eastern Coryell and parts of McLennan County. Mainly heavy rain. There could be up to quarter-size hail inside of this storm. And the issue that we're going to run into is behind this heavy rain is more moderate to heavy pockets all the way out in parts of the big country. All of this will be sliding east across central Texas. Right now, the only flash flood warning we have is for parts of eastern McLennan County, Limestone, and Freestone counties, northern parts of Falls County as well. In this area, we're talking 1 to 3 inches of rain. If you want more extended coverage, we're on our Facebook page, also our KWTX weather app. But for our viewers on air, we'll get you back to our regular programming. All right, so let's continue. See here. Candy, I'm done with rain. It was funny, I went out to dinner last night with my son and my in-laws that were down in town, and somebody told me that. I was like, after 2-3 years of people wishing it would rain, now we're wishing it wouldn't. That's unfortunately how it works. Now, if you're tired of the rain, we get through this event, we do look like we've got probably a week next week of quiet weather. It's going to be warm and muggy though, but the event after event after event, I think we get a little break. Doesn't mean we're done for the spring, but it does at least give us a slight break. So again, the wider view for folks that may just be now joining us, again, we've got several pockets of rain. Let me see if the Weather Service is saying anything about that warning. So they are going to issue we did get a new flood advisory that got issued for parts of our western counties. I don't see anything of them extending it, at least as of now. Let's look at some of the rainfall totals, because so this wave to the east is weakening some, so light to moderate showers. This wave to the west, this is the big wave that we were really watching. The problem is this first wave east of I-35 already dropping an inch or more of rain on top of this rain that's going to be moving in. So the heaviest rain right now is mainly across Coryell County, the western portions. I'm going to take it a little closer here and we'll talk, let's look at 3-hour rainfall. And you'll see it's not showing much where it's raining now. Rain falls, the computer tries to take into account how much moisture is falling and tries to guess or estimate the amount. So these won't be ground truth. Pass along your totals if you want to go to on our Facebook page, or shoot us an email at weather@kwtx.com. We love all the reports. Mary just said 2 inches already in Axtell. That helps us see ground truth of what's going on. So I can show you what the radar is. Maybe. I don't know. I think I just made my computer mad. It's not a good day if the computer's already going to freeze up and it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, so we're going to look at this map for a second while my computer tries to wake up. So in these green areas here, that's where you're starting to see these 2-inch totals out across Mills, San Saba, parts of Brown County into Lampasas, western Coryell County. And then we've got this other wave, again, that is brought from west to Axtell to Riesel over towards Groesbeck and Mejia, some 1 to 2 inch totals that have popped up as well. All right, I'm going to have to log in a whole nother way to my computer. Don't you love it when you depend on internet and then internet doesn't want to help you out? Okay, now I'm working. All right. Could be just that I'm impatient too. All right, now what I was going to show you a while ago. Just click around here and kind of show you some of the totals that are. So yeah, those 2 inch. You can see it right up on the Bosque or the Brazos River, close to 3 inches. They're just near and south of the Lake Whitney area. So yeah, some of these are pretty significant totals that are in place across central Texas, and all we're expecting is to add more to this. So our plan right now is to probably do hourly, kind of check in with you and show you what's going on across our area. And do that and kind of let you know what we're looking at throughout the afternoon. Again, as the afternoon goes on, it transitions from strong storms to more of the heavy rain concerns. And you can see as we go between now and 3 o'clock, that heavy rains there may start to diminish some out in our far western counties. But then as we continue to shift between 3 and 5 o'clock, the heaviest rain will start shifting east of the I-35 corridor. Now, what we have to watch this evening is scattered little showers. That wouldn't be anything we're overly worried about any severe weather. It would be more, do these little pockets happen to line up in areas that have already seen significant rain, and that could aggravate the flooding concern. And as we go through the night, you can see that not all the model data is picking up on this, but there is a chance of some late evening rain. And again, other than maybe some gusty winds, some pockets of moderate rain, it doesn't look to be anything overly significant. And again, that's a newer thing that's popping up. The previous runs had that flare up out in the big country and then fall apart. But we'll see kind of what kind of shape the atmosphere is in for this. So, all right. So yeah, so we'll be back on here in a little bit. We'll plan probably around 2:15 or so, kind of like we did here at 1:15, unless there's more significant ongoing information we need to pass along. We do have crews all across Central Texas. We have McLennan, Bell, and then we have crews out in our eastern counties just because we're anticipating more flooding in our eastern counties, but we have crews ready to go anywhere in Central Texas to keep updated. So pass along any information y'all have. We'll be back checking in throughout the afternoon. Also, if you have not downloaded our free KWTX weather app, I'm here doing the on-air side. Jillian Johnson's updating on the app, so we're there giving you the latest info as well. You can also track the storm. We've got the futurecast data you can look at there. Again, just go search KWTX weather either on Google Play or Android, or you can scan the app or the QR code. And again, we'll be here to keep you updated as we continue through the afternoon.